One Punch Man Chapter 197 is the biggest clash of ninjas since Naruto and Sasuke. The title of this one is Duel, and after so many years, we finally get to see Flashy Flash and Speedo Sound Sonic do just that. Flashy Flash received a letter while he was at the Hero Association, meeting with Saitama and Blast. Teninto, a ninja group with 19 S-class criminals, forced Sonic to challenge Flash. Flash was the reason why Blast was able to destroy the ninja village, so they planned to jump him for revenge. But in the letter, Sonic managed to sneak in another location that only the two of them would know. The ninjas faced one another while standing on tons of garbage. Flashy Flash wanted to know what Sonic was planning. The timing of his challenge was questionable. Sonic saw Flashy Flash hanging around Saitama the day before, and that was enough to make him remember something. Sonic lowered his stance and lifted his blade. He always wanted to settle the score with Flashy Flash eventually. Flash returned the favor and prepared himself too. He questioned his opponent's interest since, to him, the results were already so painfully obvious. He figured the assassination business must give the man plenty of free time. With a smile forming on his face, Sonic told his adversary not to get too full of himself. After all, he was the one who taught the hero how to properly use a sword. Flashy Flash didn't have a response for that one. He remembered being approached by Sonic when they were younger. Sonic mentioned the fact that Flash was always stuck in the 5th squad. Approaching with a weapon of his own, Sonic offered to tutor the kid on how to handle blades. If he couldn't even do that, he would have no chance as a ninja. Then he introduced himself by his codename. Flashy Flash looked a bit reluctant, but shared his codename too. But he also added that talking to each other would get them in plenty of trouble. Also, Sonic was in Squad 5 too. Flash didn't get why he was acting like a master. Sonic blamed it on the fact that he's a misunderstood genius. As it turns out, Squad 5 is where the failures go. But like Flash, Sonic was a rebel too. He gave the kid advice without expecting anything in return. Flash didn't entirely understand the guy at first, but he took him up on his offer. Sonic was the only person Flash could talk to, and Sonic taught Flash everything he knew. Due to spatial distortion, a single day in the ninja village was as long as 3 days in the outside world. The food they ate had no flavor at all. All information from the outside world was totally cut off. The ninjas spent every day of their lives living as machines. All they did was learn how to kill. They weren't allowed to show any human emotions. Ninjas with dead emotions were considered top performers, yet the two biggest failures continued to smile day after day as they trained. But in the present, as their weapons collided, Sonic was the only one of them smiling. This continued several times as they moved from point to point. Then they suddenly bolted in opposite directions. Sonic unleashed a trifecta of spiraling shuriken. With a glowing smile, he raced ahead of them and behind Flash. Then he repeated the previous attack with another 3 throwing stars. Flash leapt through the air, managing to avoid the explosives. 10 Shadow Funeral. Sonic surrounded him with several after images. Wind Blade Kick. They all launched simultaneous kicks, but they were not fast enough to overwhelm Flash. With a perfectly timed guard, he accepted the hit. Then, he prepared to follow up with one of his ultimate techniques, Flash Kicks. A rapid-fire stampede sent Sonic crashing down into the trash. Flash dropped down near the dirty hole that Sonic was stuck in. Flashy Flash never thought that he would need to use one of his ultimate moves against Sonic. As several weapons raced towards him, Flashy Flash smiled. Sonic had definitely gotten stronger. He was about to say something about the two of them based on this development, but was interrupted. The many weapons slammed into the ground where he just was. Looking at the group of intruders, Flash wanted to know who they were. The members of the Heavenly Ninja Party ignored him. Violent Force pointed out that this was not the location they agreed upon and wanted an explanation. They didn't expect Sonic to be reliable from the beginning, but didn't mind the results too much. Raising their many pointy sticks, the ninjas prepared to begin Flash's execution. But just then, a few of them were knocked aside. They yelled at their attacker in frustration. Sonic was in the middle of dusting himself off. They could not believe that the young shinobi would dare to turn against them like this. Flashy Flash, meanwhile, was surprised for a totally different reason. Sonic managed to defend against one of his ultimate moves. And man, Sonic was annoyed. He wanted to be Flashy Flash himself instead of handing him over. He wasn't happy about their duel being interrupted. Seeing as this was a fight between the two of them, he told the others to stay out of it. They were stunned. Sonic also added that the whole senior ninja thing pisses him off, and that he never wants to see them again. The group wondered if the boy had completely lost his mind, but they didn't mind executing him too. They were totally assured of their own strength and made it clear how pointless it would be to oppose them. But Sonic frowned at that. Compared to Saitama, they were all pathetically minor. even smaller than grains of sand. Flashy Flash looked proud. He figured Sonic must have done a lot of training to become as strong as he is now. As he leapt closer, Sonic made it clear that Flashy Flash is only alive because their fight was interrupted. Flash just mentioned how talkative Sonic is, but now, as a team, they decide to shut up all the idiots in front of them. Now, these chapters are ending faster than Sonic and Flashy Flash at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing redraws and additions to these recent chapters later on. I would have loved to have seen these fighters go head to head for longer, but maybe Murata's not ready to give us a true strength comparison between them. But if Flashy Flash are busy fighting the Ninja Party, that means Blast and Saitama should be able to fight Empty Void together, taking them one step closer to fighting God. Also, let me know how you guys feel about the length of these recent chapters in the comments. As always, I'm Sliceable Otaku. Thank you all so much for watching and have an awesome day. I love you.